Know that you have seen the news and I'm ready to address it. Our show has not been renewed for another season. And I want to say to y'all, everybody, y'all try not to faint or fall out because healthcare is expensive and none of us have it anymore. So
the tension is real. The moment the world didn't see coming. Wendy Williams, one of the most fearless voices in celebrity news, has revealed something explosive, something that shakes the foundation of daytime talk shows. And it's all about Sherri Shepherd. Fired. Gone. But why? For years, fans have watched the drama unfold behind the scenes, but now, Wendy Williams is lifting the curtain. The secrets, the tension, the whispered warnings, everything is coming to light. And it's shocking. What was happening behind closed doors? Why did Sherri Shepherd's firing happen so suddenly? Wendy claims the answers go deeper than anyone imagined. Social media has exploded with speculation. Fans are dissecting every clip, every hint, and every expression. Comment sections are flooded with debates. Was it personal? Professional? Or something no one expected? Wendy's Bombshell isn't just a story. It's a revelation that could change how people see the world of daytime TV forever. And the timing? Perfect. Just when everyone thought the drama had died down, Wendy hits with the truth. No sugarcoating. No filters. Just raw, shocking insight. This isn't just celebrity gossip. This is a power move, a story of ambition, conflict, and the hidden truths behind the headlines. Stay tuned. Listen carefully. Because what Wendy just revealed might change everything you thought you knew about Sherri Shepherd's firing. The tension is real. The moment the world didn't see coming. Wendy Williams, one of the most fearless voices in celebrity news, has revealed something explosive, and it's all about Sherri Shepherd. Fired. Gone. But why? It all began months before the announcement. Rumors swirled backstage. Producers whispered about disagreements, personality clashes, and moments no one outside the studio could understand. Sherri Shepherd, a beloved figure in daytime television, had been juggling countless responsibilities while navigating an environment where every word, every expression, and every decision was scrutinized. Wendy Williams had her eyes on the situation. She wasn't just a bystander, she was an observer, someone who knew the ins and outs of TV politics better than anyone. For years, she had chronicled the highs and lows of the industry, seen talent rise and fall, and understood the delicate balance of power that keeps a show running smoothly. And now, everything was coming to light. According to insiders, the firing wasn't sudden. It was the result of months of tension, unseen conflicts, and decisions made behind closed doors. Executives were said to be frustrated with what they perceived as inconsistent performance, clashes with management, and perhaps even hidden agendas. Meanwhile, fans remained oblivious, seeing only the polished version of daytime television. The moment Wendy revealed the story, social media erupted. Clips of her commentary circulated instantly. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok became battlegrounds for debate. Fans dissected every word, every pause, and every gesture, trying to understand the truth. The comment sections overflowed with theories. Was it professional misconduct? Personal conflict? Or a larger power play within the industry? Even within Sherri's own team, the tension was palpable. Calls were made. Meetings were held. Advisors cautioned on public statements, urging restraint. Every move was calculated. Every word is measured. One misstep could escalate the situation into a full-blown scandal that could damage careers and reputations. Wendy's Bombshell wasn't just a statement. It was a revelation. Her words carried weight because she had credibility, history, and insider knowledge. She painted a picture of what really happened, the late-night discussions, the heated disagreements, and the moments of frustration that built up to the firing. The energy backstage, according to insiders, had been chaotic for weeks. Executives debated the decision over long meetings. Sherri tried to negotiate, to explain, to maintain her position. But the environment had shifted. The authorities had taken a stand, and the decision had been made. Fans, meanwhile, could only speculate. The public had only ever seen Sherri's on-screen charm, her humor, and her personality. Few understood the pressures behind the scenes, the constant evaluations, and the unspoken expectations that governed every interaction. Wendy's revelation peeled back the curtain, showing that the world of daytime television was far more complex and intense than anyone could imagine. Some insiders described the tension as palpable, almost electric. Every interaction on set, every conversation in the hallways, and every editorial decision carried weight. Sherri's colleagues watched cautiously, knowing that any misstep could have ripple effects. Meanwhile, Wendy observed, recorded, and eventually revealed what many had suspected, but no one had dared to say publicly. Social media reactions exploded further when Wendy shared specific details. Clips showing Sherri's final days on the show were dissected. Analysts weighed in. Gossip blogs ran with speculation. Fans debated endlessly. Was it fair? Was it justified? Or was there a deeper story no one yet knew? Behind the cameras, the firing had consequences. Staff morale shifted. Executives recalibrated strategies. Sponsors asked questions. And through it all, Wendy Williams became the voice explaining what had happened, providing clarity and igniting conversation. But the story wasn't just about firing. It was about power, control, and the reality of an industry where visibility is constant and every decision carries consequences. Wendy's bombshell revealed more than a termination. It exposed the mechanics of a high-pressure environment where talent, management, and corporate decisions collide. By the end of this chapter, one thing was clear: the firing of Sherri Shepherd wasn't just a headline. It was a lesson in the complexity of celebrity television, the fragility of public perception, and the intense drama that unfolds behind every polished show. Wendy Williams had spoken, and the ripple effects were only beginning. Fans continued to watch, debate, and dissect. Industry insiders nodded knowingly. And the world realized that behind the humor, charm, and smiles of daytime TV, there existed a world of power struggles, strategic moves, and high-stakes drama that few were prepared to witness. The story was far from over. Every revelation, every leak, and every commentary built toward a crescendo. And for those paying attention, Wendy's bombshell was just the beginning, the opening chapter of a saga that would define daytime television drama for years to come. The story was far from over. Wendy Williams' revelation about Sherri Shepherd's firing had shaken the industry, but backstage, the tension was escalating to levels no one outside the inner circle could imagine. Every executive, producer, and staff member knew that a single misstep now could explode into a scandal bigger than any had seen in years. Sherri Shepherd's departure wasn't just a career shift, it was a lightning rod for speculation. Some insiders whispered about creative disagreements. Others suggested clashes with management, while a few hinted at personal conflicts no one dared to name. But Wendy's bombshell had exposed just enough to ignite a wildfire, enough to make audiences demand answers, but not enough to settle the story. Social media became a battlefield. Clips of Wendy revealing details were replayed thousands of times. Tweets dissected every pause, every inflection in her voice. TikTok reactions flooded timelines, memes spread like wildfire, and YouTube commentators analyzed the story frame by frame. Every fan, journalist, and influencer felt the tension and contributed to the growing narrative. Backstage, the atmosphere was electric. Sherri's former colleagues watched cautiously, uncertain how the revelation would affect their own positions. Executives called emergency meetings, weighing public perception against internal politics. Sponsors made inquiries, worried about reputational risk. And through it all, Wendy Williams maintained her position as the voice telling the story, fearless, unapologetic, and relentless. Sources revealed that in the weeks leading up to the firing, tensions had been simmering. Sherri had reportedly raised concerns about the show's direction, creative decisions, and management's approach. According to insiders, her frankness was interpreted as challenging authority, which only intensified scrutiny. But the drama didn't stop there. Wendy's bombshell hinted at deeper layers of conflict, unspoken rivalries, subtle power plays, and moments behind the cameras that the public had never seen. It wasn't just about why Sherri was fired, it was about the politics of influence in a high-stakes environment. Fans speculated endlessly. Was Sherri's firing purely professional, or were personal dynamics involved? Every comment section exploded with theories. Every social media post was analyzed for hidden meanings. Reaction videos multiplied, and the story began trending worldwide. Meanwhile, Wendy Williams' credibility made every word she said resonate. Unlike typical gossip, she had a history of uncovering truths, knowing the ins and outs of daytime television. Her revelations weren't idle rumors, they were a window into the machinery of a media empire. Sherri's team, on the other hand, remained mostly silent publicly, but sources claimed the tension was palpable behind the scenes. Lawyers, managers, and advisors worked tirelessly to manage potential fallout. Every interaction, every statement, and every interview was calculated to protect reputations while navigating the chaos Wendy's revelations had unleashed. The public's fascination wasn't just about the firing itself. It was about what Wendy had revealed about power dynamics, authority, and control. Viewers began to understand that the polished smiles on daytime television masked an intense, high-pressure environment where decisions were strategic and sometimes ruthless. Then came the leaked details of Sherri's final days on the show. According to insiders, there were heated discussions, long meetings, and moments of tension that escalated beyond what anyone expected. Some staff members reportedly feared retaliation or missteps that could impact their own careers. Every decision seemed magnified, every word scrutinized, and every gesture interpreted as a signal of intent. Wendy's bombshell had changed the conversation entirely. It wasn't just about who was fired, it was about the realities of working in an environment where power, influence, and control dictated every interaction. Every revelation fueled speculation, debate, and analysis. Fans argued over fairness, motivations, and hidden agendas. Industry professionals nodded knowingly, aware that the story was far more complex than it appeared. As the weeks went on, the narrative evolved. Public sentiment shifted between sympathy for Sherri, admiration for Wendy's courage, and curiosity about the unseen forces driving decisions. Every new clip, every insider report, and every fan reaction added layers to the story. The firing had become a case study in ambition, influence, and the high-stakes game behind the cameras. In the midst of this chaos, Wendy remained a dominant force. Her commentary continued to shape the conversation, revealing insights that few others could. The drama wasn't just entertainment, it was a masterclass in understanding the power structures of daytime television. Sherri's firing, once a simple headline, had become a catalyst for a larger conversation about authority, loyalty, and transparency. Wendy Williams had not only revealed what happened, but had forced the industry and the audience to confront uncomfortable truths. The story was no longer just about Sherri Shepherd. It was about the system, the power plays, and the consequences of speaking truth in a world where perception often outweighs reality. Wendy's bombshell had ignited a chain reaction, one that would continue to resonate long after the headlines faded. Fans, insiders, and viewers alike understood one thing. In the high-pressure world of daytime television, every move is scrutinized, every word carries weight, and the right revelation can change everything. Wendy Williams had delivered that revelation, and the storm was far from over. The stage was set for the next chapter. And everyone knew the drama wasn't finished. The stage was set. The storm that Wendy Williams had ignited with her bombshell about Sherri Shepherd's firing had now escalated into a whirlwind of speculation, whispers, and high-stakes tension. The story that started as a headline had become a cultural event, dissected by fans, influencers, journalists, and insiders alike. Every word, every gesture, every subtle look was under scrutiny. The public wasn't just watching a firing, they were watching a power play unfold in real time. Behind the scenes, energy crackled like electricity. Executives held emergency strategy meetings. Staff members tiptoed through the halls, aware that every conversation could be interpreted, recorded, or leaked. Lawyers were consulted, statements were drafted and redrafted, and every action was analyzed for potential fallout. In the world of daytime television, perception wasn't just important, it was everything. Sherri Shepherd, meanwhile, was navigating her own storm. Friends close to her described the emotional roller coaster: pride, frustration, fear, and determination all intertwined. Losing a platform she had built her career on wasn't just a professional setback, it was a personal battle. And the revelation by Wendy Williams had added fuel to the fire, casting a spotlight on the decisions, conflicts, and politics that had been simmering behind the polished smiles of daytime TV. Wendy herself remained the voice that could not be ignored. Her commentary had shifted from revealing details to analyzing the implications. She dissected not only the firing, but the culture, hierarchy, and internal politics of the show. Every clip she released, every segment she broadcast, became a roadmap for understanding how influence, reputation, and authority function behind the cameras. Social media exploded with reactions. Fans debated endlessly over the reasons behind Sherri's exit. Was it performance? Personality clashes? Or a deeper, unspoken narrative that no one had access to? Memes, reaction videos, and commentary multiplied by the hour. Influencers weighed in with expert analyses, while journalists ran multiple pieces dissecting both Wendy's revelations and Sherri's career. The digital conversation became as intense and dynamic as any televised drama, proving that in today's media landscape, stories extend far beyond the broadcast itself. Sources revealed moments that the public had never seen: tense editorial meetings, disagreements over creative direction, and subtle power struggles that had escalated over time. Sherri, known for her wit and resilience, reportedly tried to navigate the politics delicately, but the pressures were immense. Executives faced decisions that balanced talent management, audience perception, and long-term reputation, all under the intense scrutiny that Wendy's Bombshell had amplified. What made the situation explosive wasn't just the firing itself, it was the aftershock. Wendy's revelations had shifted the narrative from a single event into an ongoing saga. Every interview, every appearance, and every public statement became part of a larger chess game, with fans and insiders trying to predict the next move. Some insiders hinted at private reconciliations behind closed doors, negotiations that never reached the cameras, and subtle influence attempts to control the narrative. Meanwhile, public speculation continued to grow, adding layers of pressure on both Sherri Shepherd and the network. The dynamic had transformed from a singular firing into a high-stakes drama where every participant had to calculate their next step with precision. The climax of the saga began to form when Wendy revealed additional context about how decisions were made and what pressures had been mounting. The tension, which had previously simmered, now boiled over into a full-scale debate about fairness, industry practices, and the human cost of high-profile television production. Fans engaged with unprecedented intensity, and the story reached audiences far beyond its initial bubble, sparking conversations in mainstream media, social platforms, and private circles alike. Wendy's perspective carried weight because she combined credibility, insider knowledge, and fearless commentary. Unlike typical gossip, her bombshells revealed the mechanics of control, the hierarchies that dictated who thrived and who fell, and the human emotions that drove critical decisions. Every statement she made added nuance, depth, and clarity to an otherwise opaque world. Meanwhile, Sherri's response, while measured publicly, revealed resilience and a clear understanding of the stakes. Friends noted her strategic patience, emphasizing that public silence was a form of strength in a scenario where words could easily be weaponized. Every move became a lesson in poise, timing, and maintaining dignity under scrutiny. Executives and insiders alike were forced to reckon with the fallout. Staff morale fluctuated as trust and alliances were reassessed. Sponsors and advertisers monitored the situation closely, aware that public perception could affect brand partnerships and revenue. Every decision, both public and private, had ripple effects that extended far beyond a single firing. By the time weeks passed, it became clear that Wendy Williams' bombshell had shifted the paradigm. The The story was no longer just about Sherri Shepherd's departure. It was about the culture of authority, influence, and power within high-profile television. It was a masterclass in navigating professional and personal stakes while under the glare of public attention. Fans, journalists, and insiders recognized the pattern. When high-profile personalities clash, the consequences extend beyond individuals. They reshape narratives, influence audience perception, and redefine professional hierarchies. Wendy had not only revealed the what of the firing, but also the why and the implications that would ripple through the industry for months, if not years. As the saga concluded its first wave, the lessons became clear. Authority is maintained not only by decisions, but by perception, influence, and control. Legacy is preserved not only through actions, but through the careful management of narrative. And in the high-pressure environment of daytime television, restraint, strategy, and clarity are more powerful than impulsive reactions. The final takeaway? Wendy Williams' Bombshell was more than a revelation, it was a turning point. Sherri Shepherd's firing became a lens through which the public, insiders, and fans could examine the interplay of power, personality, and media influence. The drama, tension, and stakes had not only entertained but educated, offering a rare glimpse into the complexities of television at the highest levels. And while this chapter had reached a temporary close, everyone knew that in the world of celebrity, influence, and media, the next revelation was always just around the corner. The storm had passed, but its impact would linger. The curtain fell. The headlines faded. But the lessons, the drama, and the story Wendy Williams revealed would not be forgotten. The story has unfolded. The drama has been revealed. And now, it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Wendy Williams uncovered the truth about Sherri Shepherd's firing, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Fans everywhere are split, some praising Wendy's fearless reporting, others wondering what really happened behind the scenes. Drop your thoughts in the comments now. Are you Team Wendy, defending the bombshell, or Team Sherri, standing with the former host? What do you think led to her firing? Professional reasons, personal conflicts, or hidden politics? Hit that like button if you respect courage, transparency, and getting the inside scoop. This isn't just celebrity gossip. This is high-stakes drama, power moves, and revelations that could shake the industry. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update, because in a story like this, the next reveal could change everything. Every clip, every insider detail, every commentary could create a new viral moment. Share this with your friends who live for TV drama and celebrity revelations, because Wendy Williams' Bombshell isn't just news, it's a cultural moment. Stay tuned. Watch closely. And remember, in the world of celebrity, power, perception, and truth are all connected, and Wendy just exposed the reality behind Sherri Shepherd's firing.